If we do this, it's gonna take a ton of blood, sugar, sex, and magic. The rewards will be great, but this shit ain't gonna be easy.
Hi guys, Scott here from Outlaw Garage. We are here with something today which is probably going to make the purists sick. This is going to make them throw up their breakfast, absolutely for sure. We are here with a 911 SC with an LS swap.
Hey, my name is George, and I've got 1982 911 SC. She was a slant-nosed version and imported from the United States.
Now, are these still?
No,
fiberglass.
Fiberglass, and so before I've bought it, and I've looked at lots of different options, and I've known back then that I'm going to convert her back to the sort of an original state, and I adore 964 because I reckon that's the quintessential 911. The only issue I have, and I'm not quite sure how to get rid of it, well, budget friendly, it's the rear vents for the, well, to be honest, I'm
because they must have come because of the slant
because
nose.
of the slant nose, yeah.
Was that a steel slant nose?
It was a steel slant nose, yeah. Because they couldn't put the original oil cooler, the trombone one, because of the slant nose, they just hooked it up in like with the pipe basically. So I didn't have any oil cooler whatsoever. Well, but I didn't raise her, so she didn't actually see the very high temperatures.
We're trying to avoid the back at the moment.
Yeah, okay.
So we've had a look at all the front, and we've gone through this history of all the Porsches I like, I love this, and everybody's like, wow, this is going to be a beautiful Aircooled 911 when we finish with it. And that's just not what we're talking about today.
No. So, well, yeah, this one is a purist nightmare, I'd guess. And
I think we'll hook straight to it.
Yeah.
This is not an Aircooled 911.
Not anymore, no.
Not anymore. And we will look at the back. That is not a standard 911 SC engine by any stretch of the imagination.
Actually, if you would, if I would remove one of the trumpets, you might think it is, because like 3 and 3, like now it's a V8.
Was the engine okay when you had the car?
Well, the engine was okay. It was leaky as hell. Yeah, it was quite tired. I didn't decide to switch onto a V8 completely, like, straight away.
Yeah.
So basically what happened, once I was driving my car, then I decided to give her a wash, and at some rows I just dropped the gas pedal and she popped and didn't start. Something happened. I have no idea. Since then I still don't know why. I had to tow her back to my place, and I've realized, okay, that's the sign I have to do something with it. I wanted to switch her onto the ITBs, just the flat 6 ITBs. Obviously, I'm on a budget. I had to build my do-it-yourself stuff. So like throttle bodies, adapters, this and that. ECU, started to hooking everything up, wrap up that kind of project. Started to drive her. She was obviously sluggish because she wasn't tuned properly, and I started driving her on the street, like, adjusting this and that. And then I realized, okay, now it's time to put her in a dyno. After a few runs, I found a huge puddle of oil, and it was like burning oil from all over the place. I'm like, oh shit, that's not a good sign. And I thought, that's it, the engine's done. Obviously, she was leaking before, and I could tell that because she smelled like, when it drops on the oil drips on the manifold, it burns, and you can tell that. But while you're moving, you can't really see how much leaks. Well, it always constant smell of burnt oil. But then I realized it's quite a amount of fuel. Oil. And so yeah, I had to okay, that's another sign. I have to take the engine apart. But while I'm there, I didn't want to just to stop it. So I decided, okay, I'm going all in. 3.2 short stroke, ITBs, titanium rods, ported heads. Wrapped that thing up, started the car, she started to drive her one day, and pedal to the metal basically. And something happened. I have a lot of smoke behind me. Like huge amount. I was just driving around here, just got back here, and she smokes, and I was running around to find my extinguisher, which is there now. I realized one of the sensors got loose. The oil switch sensor at the back of the engine got loose, and I've lost it somewhere. And basically oil went through this hole. And I was like, whew, that's not a biggie. Then I started to added some oil, started to start her again, and she smoked from one cylinder bank, single cylinders, to another. And like, what the hell's going on? Then I decided to drop the oil and have a look at like what's in the filter.
Yeah.
Firstly was, well, the filter was lots of nice and fine
Shiny
metal bits and pieces, yeah. And then basically I had to take it apart, and I found more things. Started to disassemble the engine and took it out, and more tiny and bigger bits of metal. So what actually happened, and I still have this nut, one of the lock nuts of the rockers got loose. It basically got into the bottom of the engine and got stuck in between the rod and the oil pump. Oh. It completely destroyed the oil pump. So it looks like this now.
Wow.
That's my failure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so, and a few other bits and pieces, and the engine was basically done. Started thinking, what should I do with my current engine? Should I rebuild it? But the rebuild would be to build basically a brand new engine from scratch.
Yeah.
What should I do? I was even thinking about selling her as is. Probably it's time to swap it to something else. And I can't afford another Porsche engine. Yeah. I didn't even think about like Subaru EZ30 or whatever, or some sort of a Honda K24. I want to go an A.
Yeah, because a K swap on a 911 has started to happen more frequently as well. That seems to be.
I get an idea. I get the idea that it's a very light engine. It's quite a cheap one to build. So I was like, okay, LS. Well, because LS swap the world. Yeah. I wanted to go an A. Well, lightweight, as light as I can. Well, considering everything. Yeah. So I started to dig into the LS world and started to realize that's quite an interesting motor, even though it's a push rod and probably obsolete by these days. I started to dig into it and then realized, yeah, well, that might be the way. And I've decided to, okay, I'm going to build my own LS. So I've got it from scratch, basically. Yeah, I found a block, just bare block.
Oh, so this is not like a crate motor that you bought, plugged it in, and we're away.
See, I don't really learn my lessons. I'm that kind of guy. I'm a stubborn idiot. So yeah, I decided, okay, well, screwed up the first engine of mine, so why not to screw up this one? Yeah. So I've decided to build my own with like from scratch. I've got a bare block. 2004 LS bare block. I took it to my machinists, so they measured everything. They've done all the milling job and everything.
Yeah, so, check the block.
Yeah, they've washed it.
Make it like new.
Yeah, make it like new. And basically, I was working with them to buy pistons, rods, so basically all the measurements they done for me. They built it for me, and I had to just put it back together. But I told them what I want. Yeah. So. Yeah, my idea was, again, 100 horsepower from a liter. Well, original 5.7, which should be plenty. But then it was like, I'm buying a 5.7 pistons, rods and everything, or the same price, I can go a stroker motor, which is this one now. So basically this one is technically it's 382, which is 6.259. So basically it's 383 LS. Which is AMG territory, 6.3 liter. Yeah, but considering that the LS motor is lighter, well, obviously that's all aluminum block heads, and it's about
because it looks bigger.
It looks,
but it's lighter.
Actually, it doesn't. I have a picture comparing the LS camshaft to the motor, the flat 6 motor. And it's just basically like a few centimeters longer.
Yeah, okay.
It's about the same length. And, well, obviously it's not as wide, and obviously it's taller because of the architecture. Yeah. But yet it's about 20 kilos lighter than the flat 6 motor. Good flow in heads. This one make about 300 CFMs at 650 lift. So I've got the fairly nasty cam from LS 4.4, I believe, which is 236, 246. So 236 intake, 246 exhaust duration on a 0.5 lift, which actually kind of should take me to the territory of 630, 640, 600 plus horsepower altogether.
It's crazy.
Now I've got a big problem, and it's a huge problem. It's a 915 gearbox, old 915, which doesn't really take more than, well, the rumors are 350 horsepower, 400. Someone says, yeah, whatever, I've got 500 and I race on it every single weekend and she survives. Like, well, I'm going to be very, very gentle with it. So I wanted to build a higher RPM engine. So down low, I don't have too much torque not to destroy my gearbox. I'm going to be very, very gentle with it.
Because they are a solid gearbox, but when they do go
we will know.
Yeah.
We shall know, well, soon enough, I guess.
Soon enough.
Soon enough,
So
yeah.
how does the gearbox then mate with the LS motor? Is there like an adapter plate?
Yeah. Aluminium adapter plate. What's the name of it? It's a Kennedy clutch in the United States. They make this sort of stuff. But I've bought this one as a kit for I don't know how to call it, to be honest. What to call it, like water pump or somewhere around here.
Okay.
Which is driven by the belt.
Oh,
by some by the
Where
belt,
you don't
basically.
have space for that?
No, I don't have space for it, and I have the electric water pump over there, which is Mizia.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, and it's a cradle, this sort of a thing, and then adapter plate and a few other bits and pieces. But I had to buy a radiator setup as well for it.
And the radiator's at the...
radiator's over there at the front.
Can we have a look?
And a fuel tank.
So there's your fuel tank.
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming your radiator's under there.
Yeah, right under here, yeah. So I had to relocate my battery, which I didn't actually think through.
Yeah.
So right now it just sits there for the test purposes, basically.
And then the radiator just kind of scoops
Goes
through.
over there, yeah. So basically I removed the original fuel tank, and there's like a big hole at the bottom, and the air goes in and goes underneath. Okay. That's not perfect from the aerodynamic standpoint, but well, it is what it is for now. Right now I'm going to basically start her, make sure that she runs, she idles, and the engine works, and no issues with that. So the rest is going to be fixed.
Yeah, because we're here a little bit early. Yes. It isn't quite running yet.
No.
It was like we want to catch up and have a bit of a chat with it, because I think you're doing the coils, aren't you? There's a bit of wiring to do on the coils, bit on the sensors. Then you've got I guess your engine management system is in here.
Yep, right here, yep.
So there's a bit of wiring going on, and then just checking everything is...
This sort of a side, nearly done, just one issue with the fuel pump that for some reason works all the time, but it's fixable now. Now I'm actually...
And that might just be a programming issue, mightn't it? Or is it maybe a
reckon
wire?
It's just one of the pins that I have, I just confuse them with this one, because I don't really need the original oil temperature. I can't use it. I've thought about how to change it with something more useful, and what to put over there to get more information. Oil pressure, oil temp from the new sensors, and one of the very important sensors, it would be wideband. Since I have two banks, two wideband, so I wanted this information on the display as well. I've got this thing.
Oh yeah.
So this basically sits at the back of the dash. I will 3D print the kind of, not the face, but the ring around it. So it should be something, it's not the perfect, not the perfect solution. But
I think with some of this, it's just getting it going, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
you would have done an enormous...
If I'll find something that suits much better and fits much better, so it's gonna be something like that, but basically behind the dash.
Yeah.
So it sits inside.
So obviously with the horsepower, great to go fast. Stopping.
Yeah. And I have a set of 996 brakes, adjustment calipers. I'm going to rebuild it. I'm going to buy some adapters and rotors and put it basically on the car. Not a race car, even though she's very light. Calculated, I've saved up to 200 kilos on her. Compared to what she was.
Yeah.
Say the original rear bumper bar, the metal one, weighs about 30 kilos.
They're heavy.
Yeah, it's all so heavy. Original seats about 17 kilos. I've got.
Yeah, what are they? They're nothing, are they? Yeah. That
4.5 or 4.2, I don't quite remember with the adapters, which is 1.2 kilos, like 2 of those. So I'm measuring literally everything, and
it's a lot of weight loss.
It is,
and a lot of extra power. Suspension.
Original. For now, it's original.
I've
I've got the front struts, new front struts, Bilstein. But considering that I'm thinking of switching to something different from with a gearbox, probably that's gonna be 996 of some sort, and I would have to cut the torsion bar, have to go with the rear coilovers. So I don't really see the point of changing.
Because then you lose the torsion bar.
Yeah, I don't really see the point of playing with them right now because it's just a waste of money.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Getting back to the engine a bit more. So what are you doing now? Because I think you're saying coils are getting
getting wide, basically, just to make sure all the sensors are reading what they're supposed to read. Balance out, initial balancing of the throttle bodies, so they would be roughly on the same kind of position, relative to each other, and then that's it. I'll start her. That's about it. It's not supposed to be too much. Like she might start, she might even idle for a while, but I will have to check all the leaks because the whole plumbing is brand new.
It is
and
so
she
cool.
will be quite noisy, I believe.
What's the exhaust?
I'll show you in a sec. I have to open. I have to open the gate because I will need to remove my bumper bar.
Oh, look at that!
So yeah, I've.
Oh wow!
To make everything as simple as it could be, 2 race style mufflers or resonators, if you will. That's about it.
What a view!
Yeah, she looks funny.
Wow. Well, there we go. That's a V8 911 SC. Well, there we go. First tour of the car. I think we're going to do a bit of a series on this and catch up with it over a bit of time. As with any project, it does take a little bit of time to work through it. So it'll be probably a slow series, but we will be back here regularly. And the next time we're here, we're going to hear this thing start.